Hey, welcome to the Crohn's Colitis IBS channel. My name is Chris Mastery. Thought I'd touch base with you guys again and everyone again. And obviously lots to talk about. As I was going through the last video, I keep thinking, well, maybe I should start doing some stuff in the kitchen and start going through some recipes and maybe some different stats and some different things that, some of the benefits of certain things, which I'm going to get into. But kind of want to talk a little bit about stress. Because obviously our body deals with stress differently. And I thought it was really interesting because I was kind of touching a little bit on it in the last video near the end there. There's a kind of an anomaly going on right now. We call it a pandemic with COVID-19. It's shut down the entire world and nothing is running the way it was before. We're all kind of in a little bit of an uphill battle. A lot of people have lost their jobs. It's getting tough out there. If you've lost your job, it means you're probably not eating properly. You're worried about where you're staying, so you're stressed about a lot of different things. And even if you still have your job, you're not sure if you're going to have it tomorrow. Some industries are doing very well, and some are doing the complete opposite of well. But I mean, here's the thing. Now you have a spouse at home. The kids haven't been going to school. So there's added stresses and pressures at home, which you didn't have before. And, it's just crazy out there. So I want to talk a little bit about stress because we're living in a pretty stressful world right now. And, I was thinking about it and I'm like, a lot of it, I think, where I'm going through this little bit of a flare up right now, a lot of it does have to do with the stress I've been going through. It's just a lot of added different things that have contributed to it. And like I was saying, the whole world was kind of shutting down, and then you're out there on the front lines working, and you're like, well, am I like, are they leading the lambs to slaughter type thing? And wow, it was really doing a mental screw job on me. And obviously through that, when people get stressed, people do different things. Everybody has a bad habit and everybody has something different that they're dealing with, whether it's work or whether it's eating or smoking or liquor or whatever their vice is. We all have something that we're dealing with. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh man, mine never used to be food when I was younger, but as I've gotten older, it's definitely, I take comfort in food, and the worst part is I take comfort in junk food. Having a chocolate bar or a bag of chips, maybe some nibs or something like that, right? Where I should be compensating by eating healthier, fruits and vegetables and little things, especially as I get older, right? Shouldn't be eating as much of that stuff. If I want it as a treat, instead of eating the whole chocolate bar, have a half a chocolate bar. But why am I eating it, a couple of times a week and, maybe just once or twice a month, as a little treat? I think that would be okay. But, finding other alternatives if I like chocolate so much. I usually put chocolate in my protein shake in the morning, like cocoa, right? And I was thinking about it and I'm like, man, I went through a lot of different emotions when COVID hit, and thought, it'd be pretty relevant to be talking about COVID-19 right now and IBS, Crohn's, colitis, kind of any of the autoimmune diseases. I'm sure they all run off of stress, and obviously with stress, like I said, people have different vices. And for me, it got really junky. It got a lot of junk food. And I was not eating good. It was, I was not eating junk during the week, but it was on the weekends I would eat it, We'd buy some junk food for the kids. And of course, here I am nibbling on a bag of chips or, and then I'd have a chocolate bar and, and then what else, whatever other junk, there's cookies and all sorts of things. And, I'm eating that kind of stuff, and it just really bad habits. And I kind of lost my discipline for a while. And as I was going through it, I was starting to realize, I'm like, man, a lot of it had to do with my mindset, my discipline. And I kind of lost that. And I was like, well, how do I get it back? And unfortunately, a lot of the times how you get it back is you have to go through something, right? Because you don't change your habits sometimes based on, I want to change my habits. I'm going to do it eventually. I'm going to change, I've been meaning to do it. Well, when you get a flare up, especially when you're dealing with colitis, Crohn's, or IBS, well, you kind of have no choice. Change your diet or you suffer and you struggle, and who knows what else happens. And it just gets worse and worse and worse, and it's just it's like a snowball going down a hill. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And so I decided, hey, I kind of noticed probably for the last month or so, my body's been reacting differently, but the last couple of weeks is when I've noticed a little bit of blood in the stool, and over the last week, it's definitely gotten a lot worse. Like I said, want to do a quick video on COVID-19 and some of the different factors it plays. It's pretty relevant in society right now, and this is hopefully going to be a little bit of a shorter video, but yeah, we are going through a lot, and talking about it, if you guys have any ideas going through different stress management techniques, I definitely don't know them all. I do practice a few. I do some meditating. I pray. I definitely do some breathing exercises. There's an app I listen to that helps, that it goes through some meditating exercises and visualization and stuff like that. I don't do it all the time. Actually, I've done it for quite a while, but it's something I'm going to start doing again. So if you know any stress techniques or anything that you do or you use to help deal with stress, please leave them in the comments below, so that we can help somebody else with this stuff, because I think it's super important. It's very relevant in today with what we're dealing with, right? People's investments are going down. The economies have been shutting down, and though there's people working, like I said, there's a lot of people who have lost their jobs. People are worried about their health, right? There's the other thing, and especially as an autoimmune disease, you realize it more than most. I was talking to my wife about it. I'm like, especially as this flare goes on, I told her, I'm like, well, my immune system is probably, super weak at the moment right now because of everything that's been going on. So if, say, per the chance that I do contract colitis or COVID-19, there'd be a much higher chance of me not surviving. So we were having that kind of conversation. It becomes very real when you start talking about those kind of things. And I just had to break it down and I had to be real about it for myself, right? So what kind of precautions are you taking? Obviously hand sanitizer. Do I wear a mask every time I go out? No, I don't. Should I? I probably should. But there are things that I am doing. Obviously, I'm pretty careful. I try not to touch my face when I'm out. But it's a habit. People do it. You don't even realize how many times a day you touch your face. Wearing gloves whenever I can, those type of things, right? So, but the other thing, how I'm trying to help right now with my immune system is eating super healthy. So what kind of things am I eating? Well, over the last week, I've definitely changed my diet up a lot. Starting to eat more salads, although I know it's not super great. Just making sure, instead of chewing like 3 or 4 times or 5 times or whatever, the average chew, your chewing patterns are. For stuff like salad, I'm making sure I'm chewing it and grinding down all my food so it's easier for my body to break it down. Not trying to swallow big chunks. Cutting out red meat. So I'm eating a little bit of chicken. I bought some salmon, so I'm going to do a little bit of lemon salmon. Going to try to eat fairly natural. Avocados. Bought a bunch of avocados. So using those, just sliced avocados, maybe in my salad. Some of the different things I'm doing like that. Obviously bananas, some blueberries, things like that. Putting a little bit extra L-glutamine in my shake in the mornings. There's a few things I was doing some research, and I remember I went to a naturopath many years ago. Like I said, probably around that 5 or 6 years ago mark, when I was having one of my biggest flares ever. And it's funny because I had done a lot of research. So I was on that second 3 months. If you'd watched the other videos, I was on that second 3 months, and I had done a lot of the research. So by the time I went and saw her, I was pretty much doing everything she told me to do. I think she added a few small things to be able to do. She said to take some psyllium husk and an Imodium pill. So instead of Metamucil, so it's a little bit better for you. not as bad on your system anyways. And so I started doing that, putting a little bit of that in my shake and some Imodium, so I'd have a little bit more solid bowel movements instead of, you know, the splatter, as bad as it sounds, the splatter patterns that you get when you're not having solid bowel movements. And there was something called colostrum that I remembered. I was actually watching another video and this lady was talking about it. I wish I could remember her name. I'd reference it. But she was referencing it and I was like, oh yeah, I used to have to put some of that in there too. So something I'm going to go on the hunt for here. I know you can buy it on Amazon and there's a lot of different things. You know, hopefully as I start going through some of these videos, I'm going to find some of the links of some of the things that I do, you know, like L-glutamine and stuff like that. Put the links in below so that you guys can click on them, and if it's something that you need to take advantage of, you'll be able to do that. You know, so I'm just doing different things like that. So right now, bowel movements still aren't super clean. I don't have any psyllium husk right now, so they're pretty sloppy. Sounds bad saying it that way, but it's true. So something I definitely got to go out and get this week. I just ordered. So I usually take, when I take my probiotics, and I know you're supposed to take prebiotics and probiotics, but when I take my probiotics, I usually take the 50 billion pills, and I'll take 2 of those in the morning. And it was something I did back then, and I found it just helped to renew my gut flora and my gut health and stuff like that, because you obviously don't have enough good gut bacteria. And we'll kind of talk about some of those things later. But you know, with all the stuff that COVID brings, you have to bump up your immune system. You have to bump up things that you weren't doing before. You know, so I'm really starting to get on this. Like I said, I'm going to go pick up some psyllium husk this week and start adding that into the diet. I'll pick up some colostrum and start adding that to the diet as well, to the shakes and stuff like that. So what do I do every day? I do have a smoothie every morning. I've had smoothies every morning for probably the last 6-7 years, probably longer than that, but it's just something I've done for a very long time. It's kind of my breakfast replacement, I guess you could say. There's maybe 5 or 10 times a year where I may have like French toast or something like that, other than, you know, I'll go for an actual breakfast at you know, one of the local restaurants or something like that. So I'll have something a little different than my shake, but it's rare. You know, probably 350 to 360 days of the year I'm having my shake first thing in the morning. I just like it. You know, it's not too heavy, gives me the energy I need if I put all the stuff that I need in it. Yeah, just something I always do. Lunch, usually a little bit different. I was doing for a while, there was doing like chicken breast. I would just do some chicken breast up in a frying pan and then put it on a salad. So I was doing that for a while because I was trying to lose some weight, because for a while there I was around 220 pounds, maybe around 222. So super heavy for me. I was noticing it, man, just having that extra gut. Somebody says like carrying around an extra 20-pound bag of potatoes. I like to be around that 200-pound mark. That's where I feel super comfortable. Obviously a little fitter than I am, so I'm starting to work on my fitness. I've been going for a few runs every week now. My daughter dragged me out to do some stairs this past weekend here, so my legs are a little sore, but just trying to get out and do some activities and stuff like that, and realizing that, hey, you know, I got to get the blood flowing. You know, got to keep, because it's not just about the body, it's also about the mind, right? And if you can release the good endorphins and all of those other great things that happen when you work out, your body is gonna thank you for it, right? So starting to do a lot of that kind of stuff. There's just so many things to talk about, but don't want to bore you all today. But I'm super excited about it, because I feel like this is an opportunity for me to get back disciplined again, to get back on my lifestyle change and to maintain my lifestyle change. You know, even once I get through this, like I probably won't work out super hard. I'll do little at-home workouts, really short, sweet, maybe some push-ups, sit-ups and stuff like that. I won't do too much, but just enough to kind of maintain a little bit, because I don't want to hinder my body's ability to heal itself, right? So I don't want all the good blood cells and stuff like that going to heal the muscles. I want them to go to heal the gut, right? My lower intestine and all that kind of stuff. So you know, as we go through some of the videos, everyone, like I said, I hope you all find some value in what we're talking about. And if you know anybody who could use this information, who is going through a tough time, or who you think may be going through a tough time, please share it. Please share it, because if you've ever gone through this, or you know somebody's going through it, it's so hard. I've gotten through it, so sometimes I forget how hard it was, but it's almost like being poor and then being rich. There's an element of, if you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth and you were born rich, you don't know what it's like to struggle for your food or to pay the bills and all that kind of stuff. Whereas if you started out poor, right, and then you got successful and wealthy, well, there's a different element to that, because you realize and you appreciate things more, and you don't take it for granted, right? So, being healthy, then going to unhealthy, and then getting healthy again for probably the last 5.5, 6 years, it was a bit of I was taking it for granted a little bit, right? I forgot some of the things I was doing. So want to get back on that. But if you know anybody who needs this information, please let them know, share the information, get it in front of them. Hopefully, they may not find a lot of value in some of the videos, but they may, it's just like I said, it's just that one little ounce, that one little thing may change their lives. I want to offer hope up, encouragement that, you will get through it. You can do this no matter what's happening in your life, no matter how bad it seems. It won't always be like this. You can do it. And I hope I'm talking to you, and I hope you feel, that I want to help you. If you have any questions, please leave them below. If you have any comments saying, hey, these are the things I do, please leave them below, because we're just trying to go out there and help people. Have yourself a fabulous week, and take care.